Welcome to the Everyday is Saturday podcast, the #1 motivation show on the planet.
No more Mondays for you. It's time to make every day Saturday. Boom!
This is the podcast where we help you to accept who you are, not where you are.
On the roller coaster of life, you know we only sit in the front seat, champion. So make sure you are fastened and tight. Let's go!
Tired of feeling run down all the time during the week? We can help you make every day feel like it's a Saturday.
Let's go. Pack your bags. It's time to leave Averageville.
Introducing the man who thinks abnormal stands for above normal.
When you're on fire, people will travel from miles around to watch you burn, baby. We are fired up.
The host of the Everyday is Saturday show, Sam Crowley.
Hello, champion, and welcome back to the Everyday Saturday podcast, the #1 motivational podcast on the planet. Let's dive right in. Pain points. Pain points. We talk about on this podcast a lot. Meeting your customer's pain point and just removing whatever that obstacle is. Well, I want to share just a brief, real-life example. Literally just happened 20 minutes ago in my own life or business, and how I'm about to pay somebody, I'm sure, a good chunk of change to remove this roadblock. So let's talk about the entrepreneurial journey real quick. When you set up a business, whether it's an LLC, an S-Corp, C-Corp, anything like that, by the way, if you have any interest in collecting revenue at all with your brand or your business, I don't care if it's just you working from home 2 hours a week, it's a pretty good idea to form that business entity, all right? What a lot of people form an LLC. Simple to do, pass through expenses, income, all that good stuff. By the way, not legal advice. I'm not an attorney. Seek out an educated professional, preferably somebody with more than 20 college credits that are mainly gym and health class. But I formed my LLC. I launched my business back in July of 2006. So it's a pretty good seasoned LLC in the state of Ohio. And what that allows you to do is to start applying for business credit. The older your corporation is, you get a few credit cards just in the business name. You're going to have to sign a personal guarantee, meaning if you default on the credit, you're personally liable. Pretty standard, especially when you're brand new or, you're not Apple or Microsoft or something like that. So, but that's cool because now you start building credit in your business name and not just your name. And the only time it shows on your personal credit report is if you default. So you could take out a business loan, a line of credit, something like that, for $100,000. That is not going to show as an inquiry or any credit against your personal Social Security number on your credit report, unless, which I wouldn't recommend you do anyway, you default on the payments, okay? But it's a great way to build business credit. Well, I've done this many, many, many times over the years, and this is the pain point. You ready? When I monitor my personal credit like a hawk because I was a victim of credit fraud. Somebody stole my Social Security number. This was back in 2000, like 23 years ago. And that pain right there was enough to get me paying myfico.com every month $39 just to be alerted anytime, anything. I mean, even if my credit card, my Kohl's card goes down $10, they alert me. Hey, your Kohl's card went down. Their balance, $10. Hey, really cool. But I do it just in case something wonky shows up on my credit report. Well, I also do it with my business credit because I want to see, what's going on with that. Because when lenders lend your business money, they want to see, just like your personal credit, what kind of standing are you in? Well, my commercial credit is in pretty pristine shape, with the exception of this thing called a UCC filing. Now, this is don't worry. If you're about to check out on the podcast, they go, "Oh my God, Crowley's talking law and tax." That's not it. I'm going to spend 30 seconds talking about this. A UCC filing is when you borrow money commercially against your business. They file a lien with the Secretary of State here in Ohio for me, and it just says, "Hey, dude's got a lien against his business until this thing's paid off." Well, silly me. I just thought every time I paid one of these little doodads off, that went away. It didn't. I got my business Experian credit report. Cost me $170 for an annual membership. And I've got all these UCC filings that expired, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, paid off, good standing, but they still show open with a lien against my business. Not good. If I ever want to apply for more business credit or a credit card in my business, anytime they're going to look at, hey, dude's got all these UCC filings. He's overstretched, which I'm not, but doesn't matter. what it shows on paper is all that matters. So here we go, into the podcast about removing pain points from your ideal client's path so they can continue to move forward and they would gladly pay you, then they have to try to figure out on their own. So I was on old Dr. Google this morning, and I've got to either do one of two things. Well, I actually picked a third option, which I created myself. But option number one, write these termination letters to these lenders from 4 years ago, if I can even find the information, and tell them, hey, I paid this off a long time ago. You got to take this filing off my Ohio Secretary of State thing. All right, get that off. It's showing against my credit report. Or I can drive to Columbus, an hour and 40 minutes away, our state capital, go to the Secretary of State, raise my right hand, and swear that I paid these off. Don't really want to get in a car for a 3-hour round trip to do that either. So what did I do? Went to Google, searched for an attorney, small business, Cincinnati, bang, left the voicemail. When he calls me back, unless it's just some obscene amount of money, I am going to gladly give this attorney my credit card. Bill me, I don't care. Make these things go away. You write the letters. You do the research and find out where the account numbers, who it coincides with. Send the letter. Get this stuff off my report in the next 30 days. A couple things that worked there. Number one, I used Google. Okay. I looked for podcasts. Coincidentally, didn't see hardly any podcast, certainly not in Ohio, with that verbiage in it. UCC, small business. So if you're an attorney, a small business attorney, or any kind of attorney, I think a podcast is a great idea. By the way, they get ranked on Google because all of your podcast content, if you set it up the right way, is going to be indexed in Google, not just in Apple or Spotify. So you'll come up in the search engines when a guy like me types in, what is a UCC termination letter? And bam, there you are with your podcast. Goes right to your site as well. I'm calling you. That was the first lesson. The second lesson is I actually used the internet. So I don't know what else you'd use. Yellow Pages, no. So, you're going to the internet, and if you're a marketer out there, make sure if you want to help small businesses, this particular firm called themselves attorneys for small businesses. I clicked on it. They were speaking right to me. Are you fill in the blank? Yes, fill in the blank. Yep, that's me. Yep, that's me. Small business, this, that, the other thing. Called them right up, and the same thing I did with my trademark attorney. What was this? 5-6 months ago, gave the dude $3 or $4 grand to start the trademark for Everyday is Saturday to sell merch. By the way, you can check out our merch store if you go to everydaysaturday.com and just click on store. Would you like hoodies, long sleeve tees, notebook, iPhone cases? They're all right there on the new Everyday Saturday store. Check it out. It's almost coming up on the holidays. Cheap plug. So this attorney, when he calls me back, is going to get my money because I don't want to sit and try to figure out which companies these account numbers go to from 2018 and 19 and things like that. And he's going to send the letters out. He or she is going to send the letters out, and those puppies will be off my business credit report in no time at all. And I can go back to focusing on podcasting, coaching, running our group. By the way, are you in our free group? Just launched it a month ago. You got to get in there. everydaysaturday.com/group. Come on in. Learn all about the art of launching your $1 million message. I think we have about 120 people in there right now. Haven't really promoted it much, just kind of an organic thing. So come on in. Learn all about it. Share your own dream, what your Saturday looks like. Go to everydaysaturday.com/group. So look, from a marketing perspective and a branding perspective, speak to the pain point. All right, I promise you, people like me and millions of other people would gladly give you a credit card to help them either alleviate the roadblock that is right there and on the same path, create massive momentum. This is momentum for me. Giving this guy or girl, this attorney, my credit card is going to put that in my rearview mirror and allow me to proceed forward. Same thing people do with me. Look, I've been thinking about launching this podcast for 2 years. I don't know really what to say. I don't know how to do it. Boom. Here's the credit card, Sam. I want to join your mastermind, and let's go. Let's finally get this thing launched. What do you do? What do you help people with? Okay, that's all you got to think about. What do you do? What do you help people with? What's the pain point, specific pain point that you're going to speak to, and what does point A represent to them? Point A for me is these stupid filings on my credit that got to go away. They're just hurting. They're certainly not helping. And point B is getting them all removed that need to be removed. That's it. That's all I want to do. Probably, I'm guessing I'm out $2,000. I'm just throwing a number. I'm probably going to give the guy $2,000. All right, do it. Don't care. Well worth my time. What is that you do that somebody would not even focus on price? They just want to get that result. They just want to create momentum. That's it. It's really that simple. All right, don't overthink it. So I hope that helped. All right, so if you are a small business or you're thinking about being a business, why don't you research a little bit online about just forming some simple LLC, consult an attorney if you need to as well. I mean, you can go to some place like LegalZoom, I guess, and do it on your own, but I always like hiring attorneys because I like real human interaction. I like to ask questions and things like that. Certainly go on LegalZoom or something. And by the way, I'm not a promoter, affiliate, sponsor, or anything like that for LegalZoom. Just the first site that popped in my head. There's probably 100 of them. All right. Form that entity for your business, because what that does is all of a sudden now you're a real business. It's not just the paperwork. It's kind of solidified you. Yeah, okay, I've got this corporation, and start collecting some money in that corporation, in that LLC, and start speaking to the pain point. Remove it, get paid, make every day Saturday. All right, so let's do it, gang. Say it with me. Have the best day ever. And that's a wrap. Another Everyday Saturday podcast in the books. Thanks so much for listening. Would you do your boy a favor? Would you get on iTunes or wherever you listen to the Everyday Saturday podcast and leave a rating for the show? It helps amazing people like you find the show faster. And that's what I'm looking for, amazing people like you. Hey, I'm always hanging out on the interwebs. You can check me out on Instagram at EverydayIsSaturday. Let me know you're listening to the show. Love hearing from fans of the Everyday Saturday podcast. And one last thing, when you're ready to launch, get on my calendar, go to launchwithsam.com. You and I are going to work together to set rocket fuel to your dream. Are you ready? Let's do it. I'll see you on the next Everyday is Saturday podcast.